All right. Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be continuing with line plots. This is what we did in math on Thursday. This is where we take a number line and we put little dots up above each number. Today's is going to look a little bit different because we are going to be using larger numbers and more numbers to graph. And we're also not going to be naming the person or the object that we're measuring and then putting the length. We're just going to be using length of objects. So because we're not in school, this is telling us to measure the length of your shoe. And then use your data, so how long your shoe is and how long shoes are from your classmates to make a line plot. Because we are not in school, I would like you to please find 5 people in your house that you can measure a length of their shoe, including yourself. And if you have to use 2 different shoes of yours, that's fine too. But if we could get 6 plots on this line, that would be awesome. So please pause the video now, find 5 different shoes plus yours for a total of 6 and plot them on the graph. And then tell me one thing you learned from the data. If you need to extend this line, if your dad or a bigger, older sibling or grandma or grandpa, if one of them has a shoe that's larger than 10 inches, you can extend this line. Just use a ruler to help you. Now that you've completed the solve and share, I'd like you to look at the video here.
How can you organize large amounts of data? Let's find out. Some students measure their heights. They record the data in a table. Are there any patterns in the data?
You can make a line plot to look for patterns.
What do the numbers in the table represent? Select your answer.
So to figure this out, we would just look at the title of the table. So we have student height in inches, so height of students.
The numbers represent the heights of the students. How is this table different from the tables you used in the last lesson? This table lists each student's height instead of listing the names of students and their heights. To make a line plot, draw a number line and write a title and labels to fit your data. Then place a dot in the line plot for each number in the table. A line plot helps you organize data. What do you notice about the data on the line plot?
So something that I noticed here right away is that 49 inches is the most common height for these students. The most amount of students are measuring at 49 inches. I'm also noticing that most of the class, their heights are in this 40-something measurement. Not a lot of students are measuring larger or taller than 50 inches.
You can see that most of the students are 49 inches tall or less. Which height is the most common? Select your answer.
So most common means which one has the largest amount or is happening the most, and that would be 49 inches.
The most common height is 49 inches. You know this because on the line plot, the number 49 has the most dots above it. Now you know how to use line plots to organize large amounts of data.
Okay, so if we go back, Your page is blue, but these 3 boxes up here just kind of re-explain the video that you just watched, but you can also rewind this and watch the video again if you need to. But if we look at the Do You Understand box, it says, how many students measured their height? Tell how you know. Okay, so we can go here and count the number of students in this box. There are 16 heights, which would tell me that there were 16 students that we measured. And we can also go to the line plot and count the number of dots, and there will also be 16. If there are 16 different pieces of data here in the table, there should be the same amount here on the graph. So 16 students measured their height. We counted the heights in the table, and we measured the dots on our line. If you would like to pause your video now so that you can write something similar in your Do You Understand box, please feel free to pause now. As we move on, again, for some reason, whenever I screen share with you, I cannot scroll up to see what's down here. But I believe there are 2 questions that you're going to answer based off of the table in the line plot. So here we're measuring feather lengths, and we're measuring them in centimeters. So our label down here is number of centimeters. And they did this 4 through 9. They looked at the lowest or the smallest number in the table, which is 4, and the greatest number in the table is 9, and that's how they made their labels. You can do that exact same thing too when you're going forward here in today's math to fill in your line plot. You can look at what's your smallest number, and that can be the first number on your line plot. What's the largest number in the table, that can be your largest. So they've already done the 4 centimeter length feather lengths for you. So now all you need to do is finish. And sometimes I find it helpful when I've done my 3 4s already to just kind of cross them out so that I know I've already done them. And then to go to 5s, I would cross this one out and plot here. And then I would look, here's another one, and just kind of cross them out as I go. That way I'm not repeating myself and getting more plots on my line plot than are in the table. Okay. We are going to continue to work on this for the rest of your math for today. This says to measure pencil lengths and ask your classmates for data. I am fine with you using different kinds of writing tools. Pencils, markers, crayons, use what you can find at your house. And so for the title of this graph, I would just label it as length of writing tools, since you may be using different kinds of writing tools and not just pencils. And this is measuring in centimeters. So when it says to label down here, we're going to label this as length in centimeters. And then you can decide, once you've measured your objects, what number you want to start with and end with. But please use all of these dash marks on the graph to help you. Okay. And then for these next 4 questions, you're going to use the data that you've collected to help you answer here. For this one as well, this is just crayon lengths where you're creating your own line plot. And then for the homework page, you're going to use scissors and use this table up here to help you answer questions 1 and 2. And then feet length, and you are going to have to finish the table here. So you're going to have to measure your foot in inches, and then 2 family members' feet. But please finish this table in order to properly graph up here. And that's it. Thank you.